One engine change could shatter 70 years of American control over global defense. A Montreal factory is about to become ground zero for the biggest sovereignty revolution NATO has ever seen. Washington thought it had the world locked down, but Rolls-Royce just handed Canada the key to break free. This is how invisible chains get broken. Every fighter jet sale on the planet goes through one place: Washington. The International Traffic in Arms Regulations, ITAR, controls every component, every spare part, every software update on American military technology. And for decades, that meant total control. Around 2/3 of the components and systems found on the Gripen are from Swedish or other European suppliers, but the remaining third is from US-based suppliers. That makes this jet by far the most American of the 3 European fighters currently in production. The Swedish Gripen's engine is a license-built General Electric F404 engine, specifically the Volvo RM12 variant. The Gripen E-Series features a new and more powerful engine, the F414 GE39E turbofan, also developed by General Electric. One American component, total American veto power. Products incorporating foreign components may be subject to regulations such as ITAR in the United States. The result is limited operational sovereignty and an invisible ceiling on exports. Colombia wants to buy Swedish Gripens. Washington approves or denies. Ukraine needs fighters. State Department decides. Thailand, Philippines, Brazil, all stuck waiting for American permission to buy Swedish aircraft. This isn't defense policy. This is empire by export control, and countries are getting tired of it. Then Rolls-Royce changed everything. The EJ230, an advanced variant of the proven Eurojet EJ200 engine, delivers approximately 102 kilonewtons of thrust, more powerful than the current GEF414. The EJ200 powers the Eurofighter Typhoon with 2 engines. Over 600 have been built and proven in combat in Libya. Now Sweden is offering a Gripen E with the GEF414, replaced with the Eurojet EJ230, completely ITAR-free. No American components, no State Department approval required, no Washington veto power. For the first time in decades, allied nations can buy a modern fighter jet without asking America for permission. Here's where Canada changes everything. Rolls-Royce Canada has operated in Montreal for 75 years, working on BR710 and TAY engines for business jets, supporting over 600 aircraft operators in 30 countries. This facility knows advanced aerospace manufacturing. They have the workforce and expertise, and now Sweden wants them to build fighter jet engines. Washington will never approve the GE engine export to Canada, which is why the Swedes are offering the British Rolls-Royce EJ230 instead. If Canada orders 72 Gripen jets and builds these engines in Montreal, they become the production hub for ITAR-free fighter jets across the entire Western world. Ukraine wants over 100 Gripens. Colombia, Brazil, Czech Republic, Hungary, South Africa all operate them. Montreal doesn't just build engines for Canada, it builds them for everyone tired of American restrictions. The global implications are seismic. There's growing impetus for Rolls-Royce engine integration, driven by U.S. tariffs on everyone. Rolls-Royce unveiled a major breakthrough adapting the EJ230 engine for the Saab Gripen E/F, effectively breaking the jet's reliance on U.S.-made General Electric power plants and eliminating Washington's veto power over exports. This could trigger a fundamental realignment in NATO's entire defense industrial base. Instead of every ally being dependent on American systems, technology, and approval, a European-Canadian industrial axis emerges. 40% of the Gripen is made of British components. Sweden provides the airframe. Britain provides the engine. Canada provides the manufacturing scale. And suddenly, Washington's monopoly crumbles. Denmark's head of Parliament's Defense Committee has described second thoughts over their F-35 order and has a message for Canada: choose another fighter jet. Even America's closest allies are reconsidering. ITAR controls, as well as separate policy concerns, have hampered international cooperation in development of the F-35 Lightning II multi-role fighter aircraft. Both the British and the Australian governments demanded a guarantee that the US will fully disclose technology needed for the JSF project before they would commit to further involvement. The cracks in American hegemony are showing, and everyone is watching Montreal. But before Canada celebrates victory, brutal engineering realities must be addressed. The EJ230 was already offered to Saab for the Gripen NG and earlier versions. India evaluated it for their Tejas Mark II and AMCA Mark I fighters. Despite its impressive thrust-to-weight ratio, modular construction, and growth potential, the EJ230 ultimately lost out to the General Electric F414 engine. Why? Cost. Development costs for adapting an EJ200 for single-engine operations requires paying for an engine development and flight test program. A Gripen B was used as a technology demonstrator for Eurofighter engine upgrades that finished research and development in 2013, but the Gripen B and Gripen E are not the same aircraft, and the EJ200 is not the EJ230. Developing an experimental power plant into a standalone product would obviously mean a good deal of engineering, testing, and certification, thus obviously cost. The costs of re-engineering the Gripen airframe and power plant would make the aircraft a good deal more expensive. It would probably require a significant increase in intake area and rear fuselage design changes too. You would effectively have a new aircraft that would visually look almost identical, but differ substantially in construction from the production Gripen E. Right now, it is too late. The large order for Ukraine is interesting, but that sale is guaranteed with the bulk of the technical discussions now completed and things moving towards formal order placements. Some experts question whether there's even anyone in the Eurojet companies available to develop this, given they're also developing new fighter engines for GCAP and SCAF. The customer is left to pay for its development and its integration into Gripen at hefty cost. And that's the gamble Canada must consider. Can Montreal's Rolls-Royce facility pivot from business jet maintenance to military fighter engine production? Can they absorb the development costs? Can they do it fast enough while Canada's CF-18 fleet crumbles from age? These are not small questions. One factory in Montreal, one British engine, one chance to break 70 years of American control over Allied defense procurement. Whether the EJ230 is real or aspirational, whether it's engineering reality or marketing hype, it represents something bigger than thrust ratings and fuel efficiency. It represents the end of unquestioned American dominance over what weapons allies can buy, who they can sell to, and whether they can defend themselves without Washington's permission. Canada stands at the center of this revolution. If they succeed, they don't just gain sovereignty, they sell it to half of NATO. And the entire balance of global defense power shifts forever. Can Canada actually pull this off, or is it wishful thinking? Your take in the comments. Subscribe for the next chapter in this defense revolution. This story is just beginning.